Hello, Steve White, Trick White 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, just sort of catching up on some of my Star Trek news. Apparently Paramount Plus is launching in Italy, which is interesting because it's not taking all the Star Trek shows with it. The global expanse of Star Trek Plus continued today with a launch in Italy, which brings along new original Star Trek shows including Strange New Worlds. Paramount is also ready to expand into other countries in Europe before the end of the year. On Wednesday, September 15th, Paramount Plus went live with over 8,000 hours of entertainment, including in the mix were 3 original Star Trek series, Strange New Worlds, Discovery and Prodigy. Lower Decks and Picard will remain available via Amazon Prime Video, in addition to original shows from Paramount Plus and Showtime as part of the offering. The service will also focus on Italian content, including new original series. Yeah, so they just brag a little bit about the streaming and all the things they have, like SpongeBob and Sylvester Stallone and Star Trek and stuff like that. We got an announcement video. What I found I found it interesting that they still don't have all the Star Treks, and they don't mention any of the original Star Treks. Are they just not promoting the original Star Treks because they're in this process of just trying to replace the original Star Trek with a new Star Trek? Or do they not actually have them and they're not available in Paramount Plus there in Italy, in foreign countries? Is it a distribution issue? I'm not sure. It's kind of interesting. But it does make me sad to think that people might be seeing their first Star Trek might be Discovery or Picard, and they're not going to be drawn into it. They're not going to have that same experience that most people had with the original Star Trek or Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, even Voyager, Enterprise, the animated series. All these series were wonderful and magical and draw people in. The new shows are very cynical and dark and dystopian, and I can't imagine some little kid watching Discovery and finding the same awe and magic that would make them want to explore the rest of the Star Trek shows. It's a little bit worrying, the idea that maybe they're only going to push forward with the new shows. And I know there are other people who know Star Trek in those countries, but newer people watching streaming services, they're not going to know that this is not, good Star Trek. And the other thing I found interesting, because they just go on about it, where all the places they're launching and so forth, but they go into something called Sky Showtime. Paramount Global is also headed into other markets in Europe with a new streaming service called Sky Showtime, where they are partnering up with Comcast. This service will feature movies and television series from Paramount, Sky and NBC Universal, including original Peacock and Paramount Plus series. This will include original Star Trek shows like Strange New Worlds. The service will launch first in September 20 in Denmark, Finland, Norway and Sweden, replacing Paramount Plus and adding to the new content from Comcast. So I thought the whole idea was Paramount Plus was going to conquer the world and be this one brand. Why are they creating this Sky Showtime that is usurping Paramount Plus in certain areas? The service will be available direct to consumer via the Sky Showtime app across Apple iOS, tvOS, Android devices, and through the website www.skyshowtime.com. I didn't know I was advertising for these people. Sky Showtime's monthly price is fairly cheap in Finland. They go through all the prices in Sweden, Norway and Denmark. And they say it will also be available through the following distribution partners across Nordic markets. And they list a whole bunch of companies I've never heard of before. And they also say it will next launch in the Netherlands later this year and will continue to roll out across Spain, Portugal, and Central and Eastern Europe in early 2023. So I find that really curious that they're not Paramount Plus. They're not pushing Paramount Plus through all these places. They're sort of, I don't know, maybe there aren't enough numbers in the international markets that different streaming services are working together and giving them like combined. I think that's what that is. It's just kind of weird. Like I kind of know myself with distribution in Australia, where with TV back in the day with syndication, that we sort of had like an amalgamation of certain channels on the mainland. That was our channel, and Tasmania was different. And in Australia we have channels that get a lot of shows from different American channels, but we don't actually get those channels. So I guess it kind of works that way. If you can't actually launch the whole service. You just team up and other people all come together and launch one service. I don't know. It's just strange. So I thought Paramount Plus was supposed to roll out and be this new dominant force, and I'm like, do those countries have Netflix? Do they have Disney Plus? What's happening? I don't know. I find it curious. I just want to comment on that. If anyone has any information, feel free to let me know. I don't know if I care enough to really research it, but I'm curious about it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I think I've run out of news from Trek Movie for today. Thanks. Bye.